All right. Next, we're going to take a look at real quick look at what we call real view graphics, and this could vary depending on the type of computer you're on. If you're on one that's not very powerful, there's things that may glitch and may not open up correctly because this part does take quite a bit of processing power. So the first thing I want to do is I need to add an icon up here to my heads up toolbar just to make it easy. Yours might have come with it. Mine did not have it when I downloaded this new edition. And so the easiest way we can get there is if we come over here to Tools, I come down here to Customize, and then the first thing we want to do is under Toolbars, we come all the way to the bottom and make sure View Heads Up is checked. Then we're going to go over to Commands. We're going to do Flyout Toolbars. And it is in here somewhere. Okay, this TV screen looking thing. We're just going to left click and hold, and we're just going to drag this up to the heads up toolbar. And then we can X out of this, and now this should be active. Yeah, and now I've got some options here that we're going to go through. So what this does is it gives some options on how the part is displayed. I can toggle this on. I've got a cartoon. The perspective will adjust the size. It's typically used for bigger parts. We've got shadows. And then the one we're going to look at here is real view graphics. So the real view graphics is supposed to render this part and look like the material that you have chosen. Some computers, depending on the RAM that you've got, the memory and the processor, you may or may not be able to do this. But I can also come over here on my task pane, and if I select this, I do have some options over here, and I can select how I want that appearance to look. And so under metal, say, maybe brass, I should be able to drag this onto the part and oops. And make it look like, whatever material we selected. I can also select different scenes. And a lot of times these are going to just be used for presentations. Not for modeling, but if you like the looks of it, you're certainly more than welcome to use it. Head back here. So we could also go back up here, and if we went into, say, painted, I could do aluminum powder coat. And sometimes instead of dragging, you should be able to just double click it, and it will also apply that to the part. And then scenes, basic scenes. You can do a black backdrop with fill lights. Again, we can double click. I've got something like this. So we can edit this further. It used to be over here under appearances. But if we go over here to our feature design tree, and I come out here to display, and I've got appearances here, I can right click on my aluminum powder coat that I selected, and I can do edit appearance. And so right here, I've got color and image, which I can edit, and I also have mapping, and mapping is going to control our texture. And so, if I wanted to, you can see it changing as I'm clicking on different colors in here. And so that's one way that we can edit that. And then, like I said, mapping, we've got different I've got different styles here as well. And so again, just some different ways that we can control the part. So I'm just going to use my back button, and I'm going to hit this a couple times until I get back to where we started. I'm going to come back up here and select my feature tree so I get my features off to the left again. And then we're going to look at editing the material. And so by editing the appearance is not the same as selecting material. If I come over to material and I right click, I can edit material and I can pick something. And what this is going to do is we're allowed to select a material, and not only is it going to change the appearance, but it's also going to change the properties of this part as well. So let's come down here to copper alloys, and I want to select aluminum bronze. And once I select that, I can look over here and I can look at all the material properties, and I've got all these different things that we use for different types of calculation when we're calculating strength. And so this also allows us to define the density, the weight of the product or of the material, the part that we're making. I can also come over here to appearance. This is what's been assigned to this material. And you can see we can change how that looks based on the bronze. This is the crosshatch. So when we're doing a drawing of it and I do a cross section of it, this is the type of hatch for the material. I can do custom features on it if I need to. And so I select this, I click apply, and now I can hit this X, and now you can see that it is changed appearance.